can you talk to us about what it was like developing the cartoon, working with Gary, and working with the Marvel Productions team, and how this all came about?
Okay, I didn't work with Gary at all.
There you go.
But what happened was, I was writing a lot of Saturday morning cartoon shows at the time, and I was the troubleshooter they brought in when a show was being developed and the network wasn't quite ready to buy it. They weren't happy with it. Other people had done scripts and materials for this, and the lady at CBS, whose name was Judy Price, she was the vice president of children's programming, said to the people at Marvel Productions, "You haven't got it yet. The show's got a lot of bugs in it. We can't order." You know, in Saturday morning animation back then, and still to some extent in animation, you don't make a pilot show. You don't actually film a pilot show. They buy the show based on a script, a Bible which outlines what's going to happen in the series and what episodes will be like, and a pilot script and a Bible and some artwork. And they weren't ready to commit to it yet, so Marvel came to me and said, "You're the only writer Judy will trust. Can you write a new Bible for us and a pilot script?" And I said, "How long have you got for this to be done?" And they said, "We need it in 4 days." Now, that same year, I wrote a pilot for ABC that sold, and I took my name off it. And I wrote a pilot for NBC that sold and took my name off it. So this year I got the trifecta. I basically had about 4 days to write the pilot script. CBS committed to it. And then we did some polishing of the script after they had agreed to spend millions of dollars on 13 episodes. There wasn't a lot of time to think about stuff. And a lot of what I did was taking stuff that other people had done before me, and I have no idea exactly who some of those people were, and simplify it down. The show at that point was really complex. There were about 8 recurring monsters in it. There were 9 other creatures roaming around in it. It just had too many people in it. I later heard that certain people involved in this were a little annoyed at me because by taking those characters out, I had killed a lot of toy deals. But my mission was to do a show that the CBS would buy. They bought it. They asked me to come in and story edit it. At that point, I had too many other offers for other things, and I helped do one other script, and I recommended a couple of my friends to write on the show and work on it, and I kind of advised on the cast. Have we got this? Is this picture up? Can we put this? I was
trying to get that picture up, actually. Can we get that on the screen?
Okay. Can we put that picture up for a second on the main screen for everybody? All right, this is the voice cast, but look at the man at the very top of the screen. That's a man named Hank Soroyan, who deserves as much credit for the success of this show as anyone else, and Hank passed away a couple of years ago. Hank and I shared an office at Hanna-Barbera. He was story editing Laverne and Shirley in the Army, and I was story editing Richie Rich. And he was a great guy. We worked together a lot. And Hank, I don't think he gets enough. Everybody in that picture deserves a lot of credit. Everybody else in that picture did voices, except for Frank Welker on the bottom, who did 93 voices. And it was.
I've done too.
Okay. I worked a lot with Hanna-Barbera, and Joe Barbera used to say, when you have a new show to cast, it's very important to audition everybody in town. You've got to hear every possible candidate before you hire Frank Welker. And Frank did that. I suggested Peter Cullen for Venger because I didn't know anybody who had a creepier, more majestic voice in the world. And I wish I had suggested Katie because she was perfect casting for that. But I didn't know Katie until this show, really. I think Hank's the one who
I did.
found. Yeah, okay. Anyway, they got a very good cast together. They got some very good writers together, and I was a spectator thereafter because I was off doing other stuff, and I was very pleased with most of what I saw.
Katie, can you talk about your experience on the show with auditioning and getting in there with the cast?
Well, I do not remember auditioning.
Fair enough.
But I was very happy. I think it's because, did you write anything for Pandemonium?
No.
Okay, well I had done another show for Marvel where I played like a young adventurer, and that was kind of a disastrous show, but with a great cast. So I got to audition for this, And so exciting because Hank, and Mark's right, Hank is just the force behind everything. And it was his idea to get on camera act. We're not gonna cry. But his idea to get the cast, you know, Willie Ames and Adam Rich and Donnie Most, and I was like, wow, because I was pretty new to voiceover, you know, and to be working with these celebrities was pretty darn awesome. So I felt like, you know, a little fly on the wall and happy to be there. It was amazing.